Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Emily. I'm a mom who loves home decor thrifting and a good DIY project. Today we have some thrifted high-end dupes, Amber Interiors edition. You guys have been loving when I do these high-end dupes. This go round, we are focusing on Amber Interiors. Her style is everything. It's so beautiful. It's moody and textured, and it has warmth and earthy tones, and just, I love it. It's so good. My first thrifted dupe are these gorgeous vessel vases. I love making over these from the thrift store because you can always find something, and it's such an easy way to get that expensive look on a budget. So I found this glass vase that I haven't done this on glass in a long time. I did it on glass. I did a different flip on a glass vase a couple years back, and glass is the worst material to work with. But I liked this shape, so I don't actually recommend glass, but I did manage to get this to turn out, and it's been going okay. I actually have flowers in it currently, and it's working. So fingers crossed that it holds up. Here's the vase that I found from the thrift store, this sort of amber yellow, kind of beehive vibes. And we are going to turn it into something more along the lines of this pot, aged and a darker tone. So let's dive into this DIY.
Here we go with our spray paint. Gonna give this a nice coat.
I just sprayed it and now we're gonna let it dry. After it was dry, I just went in with this beige paint and covered the whole thing in this solid color. You're gonna see this process is really trial and error. Now I'm going in with kind of this 2 shades of brown and stippling the paint on. I find stippling gives it, I don't know, less brush stroked look. Then we went in with some black. It wasn't dark enough. I was looking at the inspos. We needed to go darker. So that's what we're doing. We're adding black, we're adding in more brown, and I just do this sort of stippling motion. And now I'm adding in some light color here and there. We're just giving this dimension to look aged, adding in lots of, these different shades to hopefully give it an old look. And then to finish it off, I gave it a very thick coat of this matte poly. Here's how it looked before, and here is the look we were going for, and here is how it turned out. For our next thrifted item, I found this great sort of basket tray. And when I was on Amber Interiors site, I came across this tray and this tray. Both of them are just great pieces to style up on a coffee table. I came across this one at the thrift store, and obviously it's not the same, but it had such a similar warm wood tone as this tray, and I was like, this is perfect. I'm gonna snag this. The tray that I found, everything was basically perfect about it, but it had some of the weaving unraveling on the handle. I added some hot glue and fixed that up. There was a little bit of sparkly glue on it that I feel like I could get off, but I'm just covering it up with something on the tray, so it's not a big deal. This one, there isn't a big flip, but I wanted to style it up for you and show you how you guys can use an affordable thrifted item and get that high-end look. So here's how I styled up this tray. The next item is actually not from a Amber Interiors dupe, but I wanted to include this anyways because it was such a fun flip. So I did find this inspiration online and also this one from H&M Home, and both of these are not that expensive. So if you like these, I can link them down below for you. I came across this perfectly circular tea light candle holder at the thrift store, and obviously it was not my style. It was yellow with this writing, and I had recently just seen one of these type of tea light holders online and was like, wait, this is so cute. I can just make this. I can paint this and we can do this. So let's make over this little tea light candle holder and give it a totally different look. I have my candle holder and I'm going to mix a little bit of this suede acrylic paint and a tiny bit of this brown antique wax paint. And I'm gonna mix that with a little bit of baking soda to give it some grit and texture. And yeah, then we're gonna go from there. Here's our first coat all dried. You can obviously still see everything, so it needs some more coats. After looking at my inspo photos, I feel like the inspo was a lot lighter than this. This is a little bit dark taupe, and the inspos were kind of like creamy. So I still have a bunch of my paint mixture, and I'm just gonna add white to it. Okay, that's our second coat, and I'm gonna go one more shade lighter, and this time I'm just gonna stipple with my brush like I've done with some of my other projects and create a little bit more dimension and less like round brush strokes. Here is our tea light candle holder inspo, and here is what I found thrifting, and here is how it looks now. For our next Amber Interiors dupe, I have been wanting to do some sort of canvas art that I found thrifting, because I always see, you know, some kind of like solid color art prints around, and I'm like, can we come up with something kind of close to that? I'm not an artist, but some of these don't look too hard. No shade to the artist, because I can't do what they do. But, you know, maybe we can get something similar. So I'm not even joking, you guys. I have been searching the thrift store for like a large size square sort of framed art that I could paint over. You know, obviously I wouldn't want to do it on like some antique art print, but like something that could definitely be painted over. And I have had no luck. Like, I have searched for months, and if I ever did find something, it was like weirdly expensive, and I'm like, I can't DIY that. It's already like $25 and it doesn't make sense. So I finally came across something that was $4.99, and it is a small scale frame. So I figured, you know what, let's do this DIY, show you guys a fun way to do this, and maybe if you come across a giant art piece, you can do the same thing and replicate it in whatever size you want as inspiration. So we're going to be doing this on a small scale. This is kind of like, these are our inspos, and this is the frame that I thrifted. I'm definitely okay with painting over it. I don't think this is an original, but let's DIY this together. I am going to remove this photo from the frame, and that way it keeps this nice wood, it's definitely not real wood, but wood frame intact. I specifically wanted to find a print with a frame just to give it a really nice finished look, and then I didn't have to DIY one or get wood and make one. It's already framed and everything. I'm gonna be using brown antique wax. I've got this color from Home Depot, Toffee Crunch, And then we might throw in a little bit of this, and I've got white if we need it. And yeah, so we went on a little painting journey with this project. I originally started out with kind of a solid brown, hoping to more replicate the other brown in that painting. And I'm just first trying to really cover up this material. It was definitely not ideal for painting over. It kept wanting to show through. But here I am kind of trying to add some texture and shading, and pretty soon after this, I decided to just do my own thing. I decided copying this other print wasn't working. It is really hard. And I just did my own thing and kind of created my own very neutral toned art print with inspiration from the other one in mind, but definitely was like, I gotta do my own thing because doing something just a solid color was harder than it looked. Here is our Amber Interiors inspiration. Here's what I thrifted, and here's how it turned out. Our last DIY, I wanted to throw this one in there even though this item was not thrifted. You guys like DIY dupes, and so I thought, what the heck, I don't have a video to throw this in, and I'm just throwing it in here. So I got this very cute little stool at Hobby Lobby for, it was like $16. It was like 60% off. It was $16. I thought that was a pretty good price. I DIY'd a stool kind of similar in a previous sort of high-end dupes video. And you know, these little aged stools, you can find them for like close to $100, $200 online. This one is a little bit smaller probably than some of them, but this would be like a great plant stand. This would be so cute next to like a little kid's bed. I think if you had a big enough sized bathroom, this would be so cute styled next to like a tub with like a candle, something like that. But yeah, I couldn't pass up this adorable stool. I want to make it look a little bit more aged. I just want to change the color. It's a tiny bit orange for me, and I thought, let's just give this a little mini DIY. We're gonna do a little paint wash, something to it to kind of give it a slightly different color tone. Here's our stool, and this is a stool I have from Olive Atelier, and this is like a beautiful aged wood. And I would love, not necessarily to age this, like I think it has some wood grain, so we're just gonna leave it as is, but to give it more of like this wood tone, if possible. I've got a cup, and we're gonna mix white and maybe this like linen, it's kind of a gray beige. Got our water, and so we're gonna try this. I think the beauty is if it's too white, I can add some more brown to it. One coat is done, and it's looking so much lighter and nicer. But I think I'm gonna add some of this brown coffee crunch to my paint and see if we can add a little bit more warmth. It's not dry or anything, but we've got our second coat done. And I had this idea to potentially use some paint and add like some dark brown and a little bit of white and just like give it more unevenness. This could go wrong, but you know, we're gonna go for it. our Amber Interiors stool inspiration photos. And here is the stool that I grabbed from Hobby Lobby. And here is how it turned out. So much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's Amber Interiors high-end dupes video. Comment down below, let me know which dupe was your favorite, and let me know if you guys are gonna go to the thrift store to see if you can try any of these DIYs. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. As always, you can subscribe for more of my everyday life. Follow me on Instagram at emilyfaith.home. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!